This is Michael Durth. He is in love with anything food and wine.
It just has that wonderful dry finish with that natural exotic spice.
Trained sommelier, award-winning restaurateur, father of 2, and a New Zealand resident for over 15 years, this man lives and breathes wine and food. Too much, in my opinion.
Of what tier wine.
And this is Sierra Reed. She's in love with anything that comes in a glass.
Let's see if we could do it in one sip.
She's an international model who came to New Zealand 2 years ago, and we can't get rid of her.
Go from, do I cut his head off first, or do I go into his area?
She was once described as eloquently crass.
Full body Chardonnay.
I'm so sorry.
I wonder why. Why are the two of us combining forces? Well, our mission is to search New Zealand from top to bottom to find the best food and wine matches, compiling 2 degustation menus.
We will use the Family of 12 Wine Collective as our guides through the country, as we learn more about New Zealand wine and match it with local cuisine. We are going to prove to you that no matter where you go in New Zealand, you can create and cook gourmet food and match it with world-class wines. So join us on our journey as we harvest New Zealand. Marlborough is our first location. It makes sense, as it's New Zealand's largest wine-growing region, boasting around 60% of New Zealand's output, and of course, home to the world-famous Sauvignon Blanc.
Hence me heading out into the Marlborough Sounds on a crayfish hunt with some locals and a winemaker from Nautilus. I'm confident that we'll come home victorious.
I hope these boys know what they are doing, because Michael certainly doesn't. While they are floundering around in the Sounds, I'm heading to Nautilus Estate Winery. It's based in the Wairau Valley, a world-famous area for the grape trade. Nautilus produces Sauv, Chardonnay, and they are big on Pinot, specialize in Cuvée, and have a great Pinot Gris. I was excited to meet head winemaker Clive Jones to find out more about them.
Okay, well, Nautilus Estate is owned by the Hillsmith family, and their forebears actually started growing grapes and making wine in the Barossa Valley in Australia in the 1840s. So we're part of a 6th-generation family wine company, and it was Robert Hillsmith who came over to New Zealand in the mid-80s, and he saw the potential of wine over here, and he established the Nautilus brand. So in some ways we did things a little bit back to front. We started with producing the wine and selling the wine, and then once we were established in the marketplace, went and purchased vineyards, and then really only in the last decade have we built ourselves a winery.
So what would you say is the winemaking philosophy here at Nautilus?
Yes, we make, I make 38 single vineyard wines every year, but at the end of the day, we blend them into one product. And it's like adding seasoning when you're creating a food dish. By adding some other little flavours, you build up layers of complexity into the wine, and that's sort of the core philosophy with all our wines.
What you see behind us here, Mike, this little group of rocks here, that's what we're going to go and check out. You can see on the surface how the rocks have spread apart, and it's the same thing under the water. So we're going to go down under the water, get in amongst those rocks, down and through the caves. It's going to be swim-throughs and tunnels. So the crayfish like dark places, so that's where we're going to go.
Gorgeous day in the Cook Strait. Let's get some crayfish for lunch.
Our mission was showing some good signs, with Grant pulling up a few crays. The boat slowly started to fill up as this spot proved to be right on the mark. My first cray was still eluding me, although I managed to power.
Yeah, pity they were all undersized, Michael.
Is it too small?
All good fishing montages need a happy ending. I succeeded, although he did hand it to me out of the water. It was a great experience either way. Dotting out here in the channel was truly amazing.
I'm gonna sleep good tonight. Who's gonna cook lunch?
Now, as people will soon find out, Pinot Noir is my favorite varietal, and Nautilus makes a great one. I was so lucky that Clive let me play with some grapes in the Pinot cellar.
Okay, so this is the old way they used to plunge, which is really hard. Here, you have a go.
It's ridiculous. If you can't do it, I sure can't do it. Oh my gosh, must have been a strapping young lad who did it before.
So this is the new way that we do it.
Whoa! So Clive, we're in the Pinot cellar here at Nautilus, and Nautilus has a really big focus on Pinot Noir. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. We got serious about Pinot Noir in the late 90s and started planting vines in the ground, and then it got to the point where we really need to get serious in the winery. It can trip you up easily, so you really need to treat it with respect.
Sounds like a woman.
Yeah, well, it is. It's described as a very feminine grape variety as well, so I wasn't going to say that, but...
So that was a very, very productive day, boys.
So we've got 5 crayfish, about 10 paua, 1 moki, and a budfish.
And here we have the Nautilus Sauvignon Blanc. I reckon this is going to be a pretty special match.
This is going to be a great match.
Yeah.
Fresh wine with fresh seafood.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers.
We're onto something here.
I think so.
That's a great match. The sweetness and the viscosity of that Pinot and this beautiful crisp Sauvignon Blanc. It's just meant to be.
Nautilus Estate have vineyard sites in all the subregions of Marlborough, from the alluvial soils of the Wawa and the Apple Tree valleys to the rich soils of the Clay Hills. Mike Collins told me all of these sites have their own distinct personality and need separate attention.
We approach every site we've got as an individual because we have to, obviously, with unique sites like this, and our other 4 have all over their own personalities, which is what we're trying to trap in the wines.
So Michael, good day in the Sounds today.
I had an epic day. Epic day. Thank you for lending us your boat.
Pleasure.
I'm excited about teeing up these crayfish, which we're real simply going to just half salt and pepper and a little herb butter. It's kind of a spin on like a Louis salad in the States that I love, and it's just iceberg lettuce, but we are going to expand on it a little bit. I'm going to make a herb mayonnaise. I'm going to use some fresh basil, fennel, some thyme, and a little parsley. What I really want to stress in this dish is the textural element. I want to have the crunchy lettuce and the crunchy fennel and the crunchy croutons to match with that silky, luxurious crayfish. Because in this wine that we have, the Method Traditionnel, I love the bubbles and the texture that's in this wine.
To make the herb mayonnaise, it was really simple. You just add chopped basil, parsley, and thyme. This really brings the flavors alive.
So Clive, we're pretty much done with this herb mayonnaise, okay?
I also chopped up some garlic and added it to some butter to brush on those beautiful crays.
Love this, I can just throw it on the lawn. Look at that. I love cooking outside.
Over the shoulder, that's the way to go, isn't
between
it?
your legs. So I was lucky to get some beautiful tomatoes and dress these really simple with some rock salt, pepper, and sesame oil, and this will just finish on the outside of the plate.
I wanted the crunchy elements of this dish to contrast the crayfish. So this salad is simply made up of garlic, fennel, onion, cabbage, iceberg lettuce, and tomato. It's all starting to come together really well.
Enter the bowl.
Whilst Michael was hard at work, it was now time for my wine lesson.
We get a lot of people that will come to Celebratory or taste our wine or come on a winery tour, and they'll be asking me, what do you add to your Sauvignon Blanc? Because it tastes like there's passion fruit and mandarins and limes and all these other flavours in there, but there's nothing. It is just what we have here in Marlborough. We have this intensity of fruit. We have something that no one else has. So our Chardonnay, we took a good look at ourselves in 2006, and we were making quite a traditional Marlborough Chardonnay, and we were really looking for something a little bit more fruit-driven. So the Chardonnay we're drinking here now it's total fruit concentration, less oak than we would normally throw at it, not a lot of malolactic fermentation, so we're really trying to showcase the fruit of this wine to a certain degree.
Let's see if we could do it in one sip.
I certainly can.
Down the hatch.
Is that okay?
It's great.
That's great.
I'm glad Sierra is learning so much. It was now time to deal with the crayfish, and I brought in a specialist to do my dirty work.
Crayfish. So we're going to just whack this on the barbecue.
Yeah, we're going to put it on the barbecue right now. It's been out of the water for about 4 hours. It's been on ice.
Doesn't get much fresher than this, does it?
I have to say it's a little nerve-wracking serving a whole table of winemakers with amazing palates, not to mention the man of the ocean. I am confident, however, that this match is made in heaven.
I'm really happy about the method traditionnel because you're using that for a celebration. And Crayfish is all about a celebration.
Yeah.
And so it's got to work.
That's right. Sometimes you need a little bit of luxury, don't you?
Yeah. You can't get more luxury than crayfish and bubbles.
Exactly. No, this is all new to me, but might be copied.
You would honor me.
Might become an annual tradition, actually, our end of vintage feast.
So now we're going to take this crayfish meat out of its shell. We're just about there. Just doing these final touches for our crayfish salad.
I have to say, I think Michael delivered on this one. I didn't know he could do it, but he proved how easy it was to eat gourmet food with great New Zealand wine anywhere in New Zealand. Everyone enjoyed themselves, and what a stunning evening it was in Marlborough. This place just has something very special you just have to experience. The Nautilus team were a great bunch who made great wine and were extremely passionate about what they do and really looked after us. New friends were made and bad stories were told as the night fell.